Hang on, we ain't there yet. All right, there we are. Hello, everybody. This is Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead.
And what makes you smile?
There's a lot of things that makes us smile. There's a lot of things that makes us frown.
YouTube. I told him just before he started.
YouTube is constantly changing on us here. That makes us frown bad.
Yeah.
We smile when we think we finally got it figured out, though.
Yeah, because we had no issues. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Because usually we have issues. Now we may buffer, and that's nothing we can do about that.
Nothing I can do about that.
We had the guy out this week from HughesNet.
Yep, and this is a story, guys. We called HughesNet. We had a come to Jesus meeting with HughesNet, and it's about an hour-long phone call while we sat in town on the side of the road because we have no internet service here, and no phone service. And after an hour with HughesNet, we finally got them to agree to come to our house, and they kept running checks over the line, over the phone. They kept saying, "There's nothing wrong with your internet." I said, "That's crazy, because we can't do anything." You know,
and we used to could.
And we used to could. I said, well, up until our contract ran out, we had great internet. Now that our contracts ran out, we have no internet. So they finally agreed to send someone out. So there was a black guy came out, Mr. Urban, and I have to admit,
we enjoyed it.
We had the best fellowship with this guy. He was like-minded. I mean, he was into everything. It really surprised me.
Very humble guy.
Very humble guy.
How many kids he say?
7. I think it was 7 kids. I think he said they have. And I said, praise the Lord. You know, you got all these kids. I told him, I said, you know, you just he's military, ex-military.
Mm-hmm.
He and I had a few things in common. We sat down and talked about, and
had a good time, but we didn't get the internet.
But after him being here for an hour, going through everything, our routers, our satellites, repositioning, you know, pinging and doing, what we got it all done. He looked at me and he said, "Look, you people live in nowhere." He said, "I don't know what to tell you." He said, "The satellite is pulling all it will pull."
And we have a straight shot. There is no excuse.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the way.
He said, "You're pulling all that satellite will pull." And he even sit and tried. He said, "Guys, I am sorry. There's nothing we can do." He said, "It's just..."
And there's so many people on it.
And he said, "Now let me tell you what's going on." He said, "With COVID going on like it is, everybody's at home working." And he said, "You know, you got to go from your computer to the satellite. From that satellite's got to go to another satellite. That satellite's got to go back to the main office. The main office got to go back to that satellite, come back to this satellite, come back to you." He said, "The ping on it is really not good." He said, "Because everybody's home. Everybody's on the computers." He said, "We're launching new satellites all the time, trying to get enough satellites up to do the work." He said, "But guys, the bottom line is this is the best we can do." And I said, you know, I looked at Wanda and I said, "Well, we've checked out company after company after company, and they have promised us they can't do any more than what we have."
Yeah, nobody can do anything any better.
So, you know, we are what we are. And what it is, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, he didn't tell me this, but what's going on is they're leading up to 5G. And nobody wants to upgrade anything or work on anything or make anything any better that's already here. 3G, 2G, 4G. You know, ours is 5G. Ours is 5G if you're 3 feet from it. If you get more than 3 feet from it, it becomes 2G. And then you get further out, it's no G. You know, so, but, you know, it is what it is. We tried.
Not even staying in at all.
I know, we're already buffering, and it's not even bad weather. Well, there is some clouds around, but
we've been in the red since we started. We have not been green since the first minute.
I know.
And that's crazy.
That's crazy. And we turned off everything in the house. Literally.
There's nothing in our house.
Nothing in the house on right now. So
I guess we'll do this video. We'll sit and talk. And if you want to ask questions, you guys ask questions and all. But I guess we'll just do what we do, and you can come back and watch the replay, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you because the satellite modem is working perfectly. I'm looking at it.
This isn't.
But our link is not working like it's supposed to.
2 words and it buffers.
Well, don't mess with nothing. Just it is what it does.
So.
And it could be that it's just us. It could be that we're being censored.
True. Now we're green.
I mean, we could be being censored. I mean, let's just be honest about it. They could be censoring our channel. They could be doing this on purpose.
So we don't ever know.
Anyway, guys, we have added something to our homestead.
We actually added it way on back.
We actually added it a while back.
And but we've only this week really implemented it to its fullest more than
we usually do.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's really been a blessing to us. You know, it's one of those things that Wanda and I have talked about for a long time, and yet we just kept putting it off, and we kept putting it off, and we kept putting it off, and finally I looked at her, I told her, I says, you know what? This is fixing to happen. I'm fixing to make an executive order here, an executive decision. This is fixing to happen. And guys, we have not been happier since we implemented it, and it's been a blessing.
And it's got lots of benefits.
It's got lots of benefits, lots of health benefits.
Yes. And one thing about it, we don't get a lot done. It takes a lot of our time. It
does take up a lot of our time. That's the one thing about it. You know, but at our age, it's that's not a bad thing, because Wanda and I, we're so busy all the time that that we needed this. Really, I mean, we really needed it. So I'm not going to say anything bad about it, because it's definitely something that we've needed for a long time.
Yes, and I think every homestead needs it, don't you?
Firefly Wood says, try Verizon Wi-Fi. We have Verizon. Verizon don't even work here.
The phone service doesn't work.
The phone doesn't work. We tried to do the hotspot. Nothing. It will not work.
Our phone, I can't make a phone call, so.
How long will bread and butter pickles last on the shelf after water bath canning?
Years. I opened some that was from, what was it, 2008? When Amanda was here. Amanda and I tried them, remember? 2008? Yes. There was some pickles.
We didn't marry till 2013.
There was some Debbie made.
Okay. You said Amanda.
No, Amanda was here.
Oh, okay. Amanda was here. Okay.
Freedom Acres, okay?
Okay.
Was here, and she and I opened a jar we found on a shelf in the pantry in the cellar that you and I overlooked.
Okay.
And it was an 8-year-old jar of pickles. They were still good. They weren't as crunchy. They were medium soft, but tangy. The vinegar had set, and the longer they set, the tangier a pickle will get. So if you like tang,
the vinegar gets stronger as time goes on.
It was very strong. So I mean, 2008, and this was 2019.
Yeah,
it's a long time.
They're talking about, someone said they seen where 6G, they saw something about 6G. 6G is in the making right now.
Wow.
Guys, 5G is going to be bad enough. 6G will be really bad, you know. Food Forest Permaculture, hello, good to see you. Good to see you. We haven't seen you in a little while.
So, guys, we've added a lot of stuff to Deep South in a lot of ways. We've added a cabin.
Boy, have we.
We haven't finished it. It's on hold till we got other things done.
Yeah.
We turned around. We started the greenhouses. We added one, and we decided we needed a second one.
Yes.
That will explain that a little more in a little bit. Then we turned around, but that still doesn't make us smile like what we've added.
No, not even the greenhouse. We added 2 ponds.
Yeah, but still, that was not it.
That's not it either. I mean, so, we built a pier. That's not it.
But there's one thing we've added to our homestead that it puts a smile on our face all the time, right? Every time you think about it.
When I'm able to enjoy it, yes. Yes. When I'm finally able to enjoy it. And it's one of those things, guys, that I don't know. It's our own fault if we don't do it, because any one of y'all can afford this. I mean,
everybody can afford it.
There's
it
not
is affordable.
There's not a person on here that cannot afford this one thing that every
homestead needs.
It doesn't matter if you're a homestead or not.
Well, every person.
Every person can benefit from this.
Yeah.
And you know, but if somebody asked us, was the pickles white? No, the pickles were not white. They were still
green.
They were still just as dark green as they ever was.
Yeah.
No, we haven't said what it was we added. That's right. We haven't. We've been sitting here talking about it the whole time, and we hadn't even told them what it is. Should we? I think they should wait a little longer. You know.
Y'all figure it out.
Y'all will figure it out.
Okay. Anybody want to take some guesses?
Does anybody? Yes. Does anybody want to guess what it is?
What puts a smile on her face? Okay, one person knows, and she better keep her mouth shut. That's Lippy.
Scratch Made Homestead. Hello.
Hey, Leslie and
D and
D2.
D2. I was gonna say Danny, but okay.
D2.
Okay. Leslie.
You're D1. He's D2.
Okay. Trevor said, if you want it bad enough, you can afford it. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. But this is one of those things that
it doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost you a thing.
Unless you're one of those people that, well, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Usually it don't cost it. It doesn't have to cost you a thing. Some people think it does, but that's a different.
Twisted Pony says, Danny just told us people can afford what they want. And that is exactly the truth. If you don't believe me, just look at what you have. You know, people used to say, I can never afford a place to live. Well, we all live somewhere. Oh, I can never afford to have kids. Well, most of us have kids. I mean, you know, it's one of the pregnant. No! No!
I wouldn't be smiling.
No. No. God forbid. No.
We would be Elizabeth and
we'd be Abraham and Sarah.
Abraham and Sarah. I was thinking Elizabeth and Abraham and Sarah.
Gary said, Danny, how much did the big pond cost? That's one thing I won't talk about. The big pond had 32 hours in it.
He charged by the hour.
And he charged by the hour. Now, he may not charge everybody the same price he charged us. I don't know. So I won't go up against him and say anything about the price, because he may charge somebody else a different price he charges me. And if I go say he charges this much money, then he, you know,
he would lose money.
He might make
somebody mad.
He might make me mad, or he might make you mad. I mean,
but 32 hours.
No, yeah, 32 on the back pond, 22 on the front pond.
Yes.
A sauna room, a hot tub,
juicer.
A juicer.
Hey, I love my Ninja.
She has a Ninja now. Yeah.
Yes. Let me think. Forgot their homestead name. Anyway, they live in Florida. They sent me this back 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I use the Ninja all the time. This is nothing but white grape juice that I froze in ice cubes.
2 camels.
And then we ain't buying no camels.
We ain't buying no camels now.
We didn't buy anything anyway.
Oh, we ain't buying nothing anyway. But yeah.
But then I used the ice cubes.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Then I poured some white grape juice in it. And then I added, for my flavoring, Cool Whip. Really?
Somebody got it.
Yes.
How about that? Florida homesteader actually got it.
Relaxation.
Relaxation.
Doesn't cost you a thing.
Yeah, it doesn't cost nothing.
You need it on your homestead or in your house or whatever.
That's somebody said another greenhouse, an outdoor shower. We could probably use an outdoor shower in this heat.
We actually have one of those. That little.
We do have an outdoor.
Somebody sent us one.
We have an outdoor shower. Yeah.
Right after we started YouTube, somebody sent us one, and it's dinky, but it works.
Yeah.
You know? We used it a couple of times, not taking a shower, but using it to put water on something, and so yeah. But Florida homesteader.
Florida homesteader, nailed that one. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good deal. But Wanda and I, we finally learned that if we're going to have, we have a lot of stuff in place now. It's time for some relaxation. Now, not to say that we're not going to work.
Yeah, we still got a lot to do.
We still have a lot to do. No, we did not get any rain earlier. Trevor?
No wine
Nope.
fridge.
No, we didn't get a wine fridge. Might need it, but we didn't get it. A tree swing. Nope, we didn't get a tree swing. Do we have a freeze dryer? No, we do not have a freeze dryer.
No.
A four-wheeler? No, we do not have a four-wheeler.
Frogs make you smile. Yes, I have a picture of my frog.
Look, we're going to go through a few pictures here. Let's do this.
We've been relaxing.
We've been relaxing.
And we've been watching nature.
And then look, this right here, you see this? This is why we relax right here. We have a cabin. That was the first thing that we actually implemented.
And we would go over there and sit on the porch and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or we'd go in if it was cold and build a fire and just sit there. No internet, nobody to mess with us, no phones, no nothing.
Right.
Just relax. And it was amazing.
And when we sit here in the house and we look out our windows, when we look out our kitchen window or our studio window or our living room window, guys, this is what we see. Look at this.
It's just peaceful.
It is so peaceful. Wanda loves water. I love fish. I love water. It is fantastic. And somebody asked, how is it coming? It's filling up nicely.
It's starting to clear a little. We can see that it is clearing up some. And we'll get into, we've got videos for next week, so we have to be very careful right now so we don't give away our videos next week, but we've got several videos next week that y'all will enjoy. Yeah,
the one thing we did the little test thing you can do on the pond. You take the wheel and you can push it down in the water. Our pond's clear down now to about 8 inches, and we don't want it to be clear any deeper than 12. So we're not wanting it to clear up too much. We want the sunlight to not be able to penetrate the bottom of the pond.
Somebody said go outside and yell at the satellite when it goes by. Maybe they'll pick you up. But show the other pond, the front pond.
Okay, let me find the front pond. Here we go, right here. Now, guys, this is the front pond. It is all coming together very nicely. It's got some really good spring heads in it. It's filling up slowly but surely. And we have grass planted all around it now. We have hay all around the edges of it. We had a couple of places in a few rainstorms that started washing the foreground there. I had to go back and put a little extra dirt in. Other than that, it's all coming along real nice. Now, I will say one thing. For the last 4 days here, we've had 104 to 108 degree heat indexes. No rain whatsoever, and I'm telling you, it's been hot. And the pond, the back pond, we lost probably a couple of inches of water out of it because of
almost 2 inches.
Almost 2 inches because of just evaporation. It's not full yet, and the fact that it's a new pond. The front pond hadn't lost anything.
Well, Lance said they would go up and down for a while. He said they may fill up some and go down and keep doing that until they get to a point that they stay.
Yeah.
And he said it could take a year. So we're looking at long term down the road before it ever gets to its potential.
Right.
Unless we just get gobs of rain. Somebody asked the size of the cabin is a 20 by...
No, the cabin is 16 by 32.
16 by 32.
With an 8 by 10 bathroom added onto the side of it. And a porch all the way around it. Do we have water moccasins? Yes. Not in the pond yet, but they are here. My neighbor's pond is infested with them because he doesn't clean around the edges of it. It stays weedy and grassy all the time. And every time they do anything around there, there's always a lot of moccasins.
Now, we plan on keeping ours clean. And if we do see snakes, we plan on shooting them. We don't plan on letting them raise in our pond if we can help it. I mean, you can't stop it.
You can't stop it because there's a swamp right behind us, and I'm sure they're going to come out of that swamp.
But we have a cleared area between us and there. And we keep our place really reasonably clean, so we're hoping to keep it where we can at least see them if they come out.
Larry's asking, how deep will the ponds be? The front one will be around 15 foot deep. The back one will probably be, we're estimating around 8 to 10 feet deep. It's hard to tell right at the moment, but it's probably closer to 10.
I'm trying to read these.
Front pond so pretty. Did y'all build it on a water table, or how did you know where to put it? We just had 2 hollows that had running streams in them, and we knew that they had the running water in them already, so we figured, you know, why not build a pond in them? We needed a pond. We needed a stock pond for the cows. We needed a pond for fish so that we could be more sustainable here on our homestead and have more food to eat. So,
and they're wanting to know what kind of fish you're putting in the tube.
The back pond, when the time comes, we will put bass and brim and probably a couple of carp and a lot of minnows in it. The front pond, when the time comes for it, we will put minnows in it. We will put catfish, and we will put brim.
Yeah. I'm not sure. There was some more questions. But
and somebody's always asking us about our greenhouses. Now, we don't have any real good pictures, but this is a picture we have.
I mean, I have some. I just didn't hunt it up a while ago.
We don't have oak snakes here. We don't have those. No. Anyway, these are our 2 greenhouses. I know it's kind of hard to see because they were taken from across the pond, but the greenhouse on the right is the one that we're using right now. The greenhouse on the left, we don't have the plastic on it yet. We're still working on getting the raised beds filled with dirt in it because we just haven't had a lot of time to spend on that one. That one is mainly going to be worked on a little bit more for maybe this winter for us to use for growing stuff in the wintertime. The one on the right will be mainly used to keep cold weather stuff in. So that is a look at the greenhouses. People keep asking us about the greenhouses, so I thought that I would
and we're fixing to get back on those. We're fixing to be adding the raised beds.
Yeah, we're going to add the
we're
raised
going
beds.
to add some raised beds outside because we had to down some of the beds because of that. So we're going to replenish those in various places. And we're going to have the raised beds in the greenhouses, and that's going to be what we concentrate on this winter.
Thank you, Tony.
The front field has butter peas and my cream pea, Mississippi creams,
yes.
And they come out shortly. My cream peas should be done this week. The butter peas within a week or 2. And all that leaves is my top ground sweet potatoes up there, and they are blooming. And I did not get a picture. I forgot till last minute. And that'll clean that field up. Now, the back field.
The back field, we have our sweet potatoes in it. Not yet. We have our sweet potatoes in it. We have our Danny corn in there, and that's about all that's back there other than the cabin garden. And the cabin garden is almost completely over. We still have our elephant garlic along one edge. We have our multiplying onions along the other edge, our asparagus along one edge. We have a few pepper plants, but other than that, the whole garden is ready to come out. We're going to strip it here this coming week, take it all out. And we're going to let our gardens lay this winter. We're not going to be using our gardens this winter. It's going to, well, they just need to lay. I mean, we're going to be amending them this fall, getting them ready for next winter.
Sharon wants to know, could you do a floor plan for the cabin? We've had several people ask if you would do that so they could buy it on Etsy.
Okay, we'll see what we can work out.
He has one that he started. You had it all drawn out to a certain point, and then you stopped, and you never finished.
I never finished it. I just stay so busy.
He has this thing in his mind. He doesn't need.
I don't need papers when I build something. I can look at a set of blueprints, and all of it automatically just stays in my mind. I can design in my mind even.
Yes, the grass is starting to grow.
Yes.
We've got green, and now an update on your dad.
An update on my father. Guys, this is one of those things. I don't know how to really say this. my dad was in a nursing home, and he was sent from the nursing home to a hospital. We were told he had COVID-19 when he got to the hospital, because we're not allowed to go, we're not allowed to visit or anything like that. So all we can do is basically call the nurses station and get updates on my father. So my brother called and told me that when he got in the hospital that, you know, he had COVID-19. That's what the home said he had. So, you know me.
They tested him at the home, they said,
Yeah.
and he had it, and they quarantined.
They quarantined him
for a day or so, and then they sent him to the hospital because he couldn't breathe.
Well, now, when I called the hospital myself, I asked him, I said, why is he in the hospital? Does he have COVID? Explain to me his symptoms. They told me, they said, his breathing is very shallow. It's at about 75. His heart rate is at 140 beats per minute. And he's having trouble with his kidney.
He only has one.
He only has one. And I told Wanda then, I said, that has nothing to do with COVID. I said, that is not a COVID symptom. That's a dehydration symptom. And I asked the lady, I said, so is he on the COVID floor? And she said, yes, he's on the COVID floor. I said, are you treating him for COVID-19? She said, because of his kidney having problems, we can't give him the kind of COVID medication that we need to. We're giving him an antibiotic to clear up what's wrong with his kidney problem. And we're giving him plenty of fluids. So, and she told me, she said, we sent off a COVID test that will be back in 5 to 6 days. And we will notify you when the test comes back. So that's been several days ago.
It was like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah. So Wanda called today.
Yeah, I talked to his brother yesterday, and he said, well, he seems to be doing the same. Said they're saying no change. He seems to be a little better, but no change. So I called today, and I asked the lady how he was doing, and she says, oh, well, he's improved greatly. She said yesterday they took him, he had
an oxygen mask over his face to help him. He had 100% oxygen so he could breathe good.
She said we took the face mask off. He just has the tubes in his nose, and they've turned it down. So she said he's doing a lot better. And I said, so did the COVID test come back? And she said, we didn't test him for COVID. And I said, well, I was told there was a test coming back. And she said, oh, no. She said the nursing home tested him for COVID. They said he had COVID. I said, okay, what's wrong with him? She says, I said, he doesn't have the symptoms for COVID. He does have them. What is the deal? She said, well, all of them that come in can't breathe, and that's a symptom of COVID. And I said, so he has no other symptoms? And she says, well, that's why he came in here. So, yes, he may have COVID.
He may have,
no,
he may not have. He's on the COVID floor. He'll probably end up with it if he didn't have it.
Yeah.
You know, but at this point, he is doing better. You know, so we praise the Lord for that. Thank y'all for your prayers.
So right now, he's coming off the oxygen some. He is 88 years old. He has a lot of health issues, but he's still in some ways healthier as a horse.
Georgia Garden Girl, he did have a UTI. That's what they were treating him for.
Yes, for a UTI.
For a UTI. That's all that was wrong with him, and he was dehydrated. I'm telling you, it had nothing to do with COVID. They just wanted to... Look, I can go off on this one
No,
now.
we got to get off this because he could have COVID.
He could have.
Okay. We're just going to go...
Anyway.
We're going to have to leave that one alone.
We got to leave that one alone. Anyway, guys, we've been... Enough said about that. We've been... You know, and thank you for inquiring about my father. I appreciate that.
We think some of it has to do with money. Just
yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with money. But here at our homestead, we are gradually cleaning up. You know, we told you we began to harvest the Danny corn now. We've cleaned up all the Danny corn now. It has all been harvested. That's one thing we've done this week. And I want to show you, this is kind of what Wanda brought it I took a picture of it in one of the buckets. That is it. That's what we call slip shucking it. We're setting it aside, letting it continue to dry, just to you know, to make sure that it's okay. And what I want to do tonight for y'all is I want to show you something.
And this
Okay.
Ta-da!
You see this here? This is Danny corn. I want you to look at how it looks. None of it is identical. When I created this corn, it's a dent corn.
It all tastes the same.
It all tastes the same. It makes the best cornmeal, the best flour, the best feed for animals you have ever seen.
But most of the ears, they'll either be yellow with some blue in it. Some of them have a good bit of blue in it.
Yep.
You didn't pull a blue.
I didn't have time to look for one that had the blue.
Some of them are a pinkish looking color, pinkish red. I don't know how that's showing up.
Then we have the dark red that's in it. Some of them's even redder than this, as red as blood.
And some of them are just mixed.
And then we have the white ones here. And you see some of the dark purple that I'm telling you about? Let me find it right there. See right there on the top of the corn? There it is right there. Some of the blue showing up in this one. Some of them have lots of blue in it. Some of them are completely yellow. Some of them are completely red. Some of them are a brighter white. And some of them are really red. So it's a mixture of all of them. And you'll notice on these here what I was telling you about. See those blue kernels in there? Some of them are very pronounced in some of the ears. They have lots and lots of blue in it. And guys, I've tried one year. I said, let me just see if this works. I harvested nothing but the red seeds, and I planted nothing but the red seeds. I wanted to see if
Jan said most of hers turned out red.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see if it all turned out red. It still turned out white, blue. I think I'm trying to remember back because I bred this stuff like 26, 27 years ago. Created it. I think I took 7 different heirloom varieties of corn, and I hand pollinated them and put bags over them. I did all kind of stuff. It took me several years to create this, and guys, it comes back true every year. Notice, no worms.
He's proud of that.
I did not spray this corn or nothing. It has no worm signs. It is perfect. You know, I mean,
we probably will have some for sale.
We'll have
some,
but
not a lot. It'll be very limited. And we've had like 1,500 people ask for it.
Suzanne says, "Where do y'all buy your bulk salt?" We get it from a butchering, a slaughterhouse place where they butcher animals at. Trevor says, "I want to get some, please." All I can tell y'all is watch the Etsy store, and as soon as this dries to a point where it's in good shape, and I put it in the freezer for 2 weeks, and then I make sure I've killed any insect eggs in it, and I'll take it out, and we will begin to put it on Etsy at that point.
This is not popcorn. Now,
no.
Popcorn is something totally different.
It's not sweet corn.
It is field corn.
It is field corn, yes.
And we do have some popcorn in the front. We're going to have a few little ears, maybe?
A few.
Popcorn puts on little bitty small ears usually, and very, very tiny. And when it comes off, it's the size of popcorn, and it does pop. Hopefully we can do that video. Last year we planned on doing that, and some creatures decided they wanted our popcorn just as it was drying.
Yeah.
So we're hoping this year to have some. It's hard to keep the creatures out of stuff, but that we've kept them out of the Danny corn. So.
Cindy wants to know, was the bread and butter pickle soggy? No, they were still crisp. They were still.
Well, they were not as crisp.
They weren't as crisp as a fresh one, but they were still not what you call really soggy.
They weren't just gooey. They were still reasonable.
Cindy says it looks like Indian corn that my grandmother used to grow. It does look a lot like it, but I'll assure you it's not true Indian corn. True Indian corn has round, hard kernels. This is a dent corn.
Will it grow up north? It grew Life and Farmland.
Eric from Life and Farmland grew it in Minnesota, and it grew up to be about 16 feet tall.
So yes, it will grow.
Yes, it will grow.
Pratt's grew some too.
Yep, Michael and Jeannie Pratt grew it also.
And they're in Minnesota.
Which potatoes do you leave the skins on when canning them? Any of them.
As long
as they're not.
Wait, let me say this.
Go ahead.
You're going to mess them up. When we first dig our potatoes, they are our potatoes, fresh potatoes. If I can them within the first 2 to 3 weeks, then I leave the skins on. If you go much past 2 to 3 weeks, the skin starts getting tough, and I usually peel them. If you buy them in a store, by all means, peel them. Just saying.
Okay. What state we live in? We live in South Mississippi. Is the double standard sweet corn the Danny corn? No. Danny corn is not a sweet corn. It is a field corn. It's a corn I created.
Can you water bath potatoes? No. Well,
what do I think about?
Used to, I guess in the old days maybe they did, but I've heard a lot of people talking about that over the last few weeks, saying that they don't like to pressure can. I would recommend, if you can find a pressure canner, always pressure can, because water bathing is not safe for vegetables. It's mainly for
fruit, anything acidic,
jellies,
anything
jams,
acidic,
tomatoes, that sort of thing.
Country Homestead Preacher said, I bought some of our corn last year. Wasn't able to plant it this year. It's been in the freezer. How long will it last? It'll last forever in the freezer. You don't have to worry about it.
It'll last a long time.
I planted some that was 8 and 10 years old in the freezer, and it still came up and grew just as good as it ever did. Let's see here. My dad always grew pencil cob corn. Actually, I'll be honest with you, one of the heirloom corns that I used to cross into this was a Tennessee pencil cob corn. Matter of fact, you'll find some of the cobs in this is little and they're red.
Did you genetically create your corn to make it its own pesticide?
No.
He didn't do anything other
I didn't do anything other than pollinate. I cross-pollinated it and created a particular, I looked for a particular thing in the corn each time I pollinated. It took several years to do this, and I finally got it right. And from that point forward, it has mutated into what it is today, and it is some of the best corn. It'll grow 16 feet tall. It'll make a stalk as big as your arm.
Georgia Garden Girl says she grew it the last 2 summers. It was 8 to 12 feet tall, and she had 2 ears of corn per stalk.
Yeah.
So, and good night, Spitfire.
Yes, good night. Let's see, what else we got on here that we want to show them? Let's see here. Let me move down a little bit.
The blackberries.
Guys, we are really excited about one thing we've learned about our greenhouse here. It is that things that we thought we could no longer grow this time of the year in this heat is not true, because in a greenhouse, we're able to control the climate, and it is working out really good. And this is, look at this. Now this is Freedom Blackberries. We got these from Gurney's. These things, guys,
we harvested off of them the last 2 weeks.
Matter of fact, we got some to eat tonight.
Yeah, I forgot them. I left them in the fridge. I harvested them this
Wanda
morning.
harvested them this morning, and we're going to eat those tonight. So,
yeah.
You know
they
what?
Are the best things.
They don't have that seed in them like.
They have a seed in some, but it's not like as seedy as normal blackberries.
Right.
So there is a seed or 2 in it, but not total. And they're bigger. They're way bigger than most blackberries.
Yeah.
So, the chickens.
Hold on. Let me go on up the down line. People, we were talking about our ponds a while ago. The ecosystem in our ponds are really coming along. Wanda and I will go out there at night and sit a lot of times at the pond, because the deck lights are around the pond, and all the frogs come to the lights to eat the bugs and stuff like that. Our pond has hundreds of thousands of tadpoles in it. There's frogs everywhere, so the ecosystem is really kicking up in the pond. We're really happy about that. And look here. This was about 10 o'clock last night. We took this picture. He was sitting right by the pier. And that thing was making the most noise. I mean, he was having himself a fit out there. So we have plenty of frogs in the pond. I did see a question.
Do you add ammonia and nitrate to your corn?
I put ammonia to my corn, Trevor, when it is 8 inches tall. I put it to it when it's 12 inches tall, and I put it to it when it's waist high. I put a lot of ammonia nitrate to my corn.
And there's Mr. Ron Foster.
Okay, guys, this week, Wanda and I have a very dear friend here in town. She's probably, I've known her all my life.
And since Danny and I've married, she became one of my special friends. Believe me, she's a wonderful lady. And she called and said she had an issue. Her daughter was having surgery, and she needed somebody to take her girls.
Yeah.
And so we ended up with 3 new chickens. They are Wells Summers, I think.
Shop. It's double standard sweet from another shop.
So we took her girls so she could go be with her daughter after surgery. And they're 3 beautiful chickens that are almost laying age. She got them as babies at Easter, right?
Yeah, she got them at Easter. She was given to her. They were gifts.
Yeah. So we've got 3 new ladies on our property. We were supposed to have gotten this past weekend 2 more hens that will set and
2 set hens and a rooster from Naked Hog.
But they kind of had issues with this virus, and they came in contact with it. I don't know that they have it, but they came in contact with it. So they're quarantining for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So in 2 to 3 more weeks, we'll see about whether we get a rooster and a couple more hens.
Okay. Did you say the name of the Blackberries? Yes.
Freedom.
Jennifer is called, or Donnie, whichever one it is. It's called, or maybe Annabelle. Who knows? Could be her. It's called Freedom Blackberries. They are from Gurney's. Turned out really good for us. Now, Ms. Wanda has been going up in the mornings and spending her mornings in the garden picking these butter peas. Now look at this. Now that right there, my friends, is a blessing. Whenever you get ready to go to canning and you see something like that sitting there, that's some of the best eating right there you're ever going to have. That's butter peas. Now, not butter beans and not peas, but butter peas.
You know, we got Mr. Grizz back, and he's about ready to whack a kitty.
Oh, no, he's ready to whack a kitty.
I miss Grizz when he ain't around. He's been busy, though. I've been seeing he's been working with this logging. He's cutting his sawmill.
He's been sawmilling.
Logging, sawmilling, it's all close to the same.
Ron said, get some bass to reduce those frogs. We're thinking about it. We're talking about it. It may actually happen.
And he said he wanted some Cherokee tans. I thought I had sent you some, but if I hadn't, let me know. Send me an email address, because I probably have it, but I don't know where it's at. Just saying.
Cul-de-sac Grocery Garden says, what do you do to grow great big potatoes? Now, are you talking about sweet potatoes or Irish potatoes or red potatoes, white potatoes?
There's 2 different things.
They're different. One of them has to have a 5.5 pH and less. One of them has to have a 6.8 or better. The sweet potatoes need a 6.8 or better. The regular red potatoes, or Irish potatoes we call them, they need a 5.5 or thereabout in order to produce well, and they need lots of nitrogen.
Are we through with it?
No. You got one more to go here. Now, this is a gift that was given to Ms. Wanda this week, and she has literally fell in love with it. And I want to say thank you to the person who sent it.
And there was another book with it, too.
There was another book with it?
That book didn't thrill me real well. I just let Danny look through it.
Yeah, she said that was my book. So, and I loved it. I mean, I love stuff like that.
I've been
flipping through the pages, looking at it. I thought it was really good. It has to do a lot with agriculture.
It's an agriculture book.
Yeah, it's a good agriculture book. But here's what Ms. Wanda got this week. Now, tell them a little bit about this book.
This is the Ball Blue book. It is an original 1960 Ball Blue book. It cost 25 cents, brand new.
Brand new, 25 cents. What's the last time you heard anything for 25 cents?
The lady bought it at a secondhand store, so I didn't even ask her what she paid for it. If she paid a quarter, what is it, 50-year-old book? It's 60-year-old book.
It's a 60-year-old book.
60-year-old book is still at least worth what it was when it was new or worth more than it was new. I don't know. But it's awesome. And I have a video coming up sometime this week, either on Crazy Days or Deep South. I forgot, but I've got it ready to go up. And I'm talking about this book. So I'm not going to give it away. But guys, thank you for sending this. This was awesome.
That is an awesome book. I looked at it, and man, has things changed. I'm going to tell you, it worked back then. It'll work now. But because we're so scared today, a lot of things have changed.
Yeah. So, well, no, that book it hasn't. So I'm going to.
No, I thought the new ones has changed.
Oh.
That book has a lot of stuff in it the new ones don't have.
Yes, but I'm going to explain some of that in my video, so don't give my video away. He,
Yeah.
he happens to do that occasionally. Danny calls created in Danny Laboratories.
At Danny Laboratories, that's right. You never know, man. It took some doings. I had to do some studying about that stuff to figure out how it all worked, but I finally figured it out, and I made it happen.
Yeah. I think some of the reasoning behind, a lot of people saying something about animals in their gardens and stuff. One of the reasons we don't have anything coming in our gardens very much this year is because we have been working outside a lot with the greenhouses. Then we turn around and we're working with the ponds.
We put the pond in between us and the woods.
And so I think, and two, we put the sugar cane back over here in a different location. And so everything's been rearranged somewhat.
Yes.
And I think that, and Danny's cleared up a lot of our fences. We did new fencing a year and a half ago on a lot of the property. And by putting this pond in, he's redoing some old fencing. And we have one strip on the back, and he plans on redoing that is older. So when you keep your fence rows clean and stuff, that helps a lot too. We don't have a lot of just woodsy area for them to hide in and come out into our field. We've cleared it up a lot.
Grizz says, Danny, won't be long till you can turn it into, you can make big bucks there as a hunting and fishing resort. Hey, Grizz, I am actually creating a resort here. I mean,
that's why we're smiling.
That's one reason we're smiling. We're creating
the relaxation of it.
We're creating a huge resort here.
Why should we pay big bucks to somebody else when we can create our own and enjoy what we have?
Right.
I mean, Danny and I don't want to go on vacation. We don't want to fly to Hawaii, or we don't want to head to Disney World. And we have people all the time say, how can you afford 2 greenhouses? What I saw it, somebody's popping up, going and coming. YouTube must be paying you a fortune. All right, let me say this.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Those 2 greenhouses cost less than it cost a family of 4 to go to Disney World for 1 week.
That's right.
So if you want to go to Disney World, and I don't have any problem with that, and you spend all your money at Disney World that 1 week, then okay, you're done.
Yeah.
The rest of the year, you're done.
You're done. You just wasted your money.
We spent less than that, a lot less.
A lot less than that.
On 2 greenhouses.
Yeah.
And we can harvest food all year long.
Yeah.
So that's my thought, you know.
We get those questions all the time. My gosh, y'all must be rolling in the money. Well, let me talk to y'all a little bit about this, because it pisses me off more than anything in this world.
I hate for people to ask about
money. I don't ask people what something costs them. Now, they have no right to ask me what something costs me, because they think that we're filthy rich. Hey, I may be rich. What difference does it make if I am?
My great aunt may have died and left me $500,000.
Yeah. So that's
YouTube may have. Hey, this is it. YouTube may have actually paid us $100,000.
It's possible. I wish. But I have to laugh about it, because you know me, I'll get pissed off and I'll really get upset.
We don't want to even go to YouTube.
No. But the bottom line is this. I paid for my home many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I paid cash for it because I run a construction company, and I busted my butt. For 7 years, every dime I had went into my property and my house. I paid for my house. I paid cash for my vehicles. I paid off everything I owned. Wanda and I have been married for 7 years with no house note,
no car note,
no car notes, none of that kind of stuff. We set the money aside that you would normally spend on that kind of stuff. And guys, at some point, you can't take it with you. You've never seen a hearse pulling a U-Haul. You know, so Wanda and I decided we're not getting any younger. Let's go ahead and do the things in life that we want to do. So we decided to do it.
If we want it, we got to do it.
And
I mean,
what difference does it make? You know, I mean,
if we have millions of dollars or we have $10, if we spend it on a greenhouse or we go to Disney World, what difference does it make?
Right.
You know, just enjoy the journey with us. That's all we ask.
That's all we ask. If you choose to drink your money away, if you choose to buy cigarettes, if you choose to buy Skoal, Copenhagen, whatever, soda pipe, whatever.
Energy drinks.
Energy drinks, mochas, lattes, $5 cups of coffee. Go by fast food places and buy all the time. If that's what you choose to do, that's fine. I don't care. I don't ask you if you do that. So Wanda and I choose not to do that.
And we choose to put a greenhouse up.
We choose to put our money into our place rather than wasting it.
Okay, so, I was laughing a while ago because Ron, thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, Ron, thank you. I did see it.
He said he had I think a World War II book, cooking book he wants to send.
Oh, okay.
It has a good possum recipe. So will you eat possum? Okay. Now, I have cooked possum, okay? Just saying, I have done it many times. My previous life, we had a friend in my previous life that would bring up possum and say, here, can you cook this for me? Because he knew I could. I would stuff it in a, what do you call them? Turkey bags, oven bags.
Oven basting bags, yeah.
I would have turkey bags. I would stick that possum in there, and I would salt it and pepper it, throw some butter in on top of it, throw potatoes and carrots, tie the bag up, stick it in the oven, and they ate it. I didn't, but they said it was just falling apart tender.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can cook.
I've always said I would never eat possum unless I just starving to death. Now, that is, hey, that may happen one day. I don't know. But up until that point, I ain't eating no possum.
Thank you, Chip.
I ain't eating no armadillo either. But
he said we just hit over 700. Guys, I want to mention something.
Oh, yeah, with something we want to mention here.
We never thought this day would be possible.
And we owe this to you all. We want to say thank you. We want to say thank y'all so much for putting us where we're at in this situation.
This week, Danny and I will hit 20 million views on YouTube. 20 million. 20 million
I
never thought I'd hit a million.
I mean, I can't even comprehend 20
And we don't even know where all these views are.
No.
We have no clue. Looking at our videos, it doesn't look like we get that many views.
Right.
But when I looked at the analytics earlier, and I don't do this very often, I don't go over there and check it out because I don't even want to know because I'll get aggravated sometimes. But 20 million views. This week we will hit that. And we will hit 135,000 subscribers. We were happy with 5 or 6. So it's just amazing to us that we've even touched that many people.
Thank you, Leila. We really appreciate that so much.
Yeah. And we get letters and stuff. You were talking about one while ago. You remember what it was? You were reading something. They were watching your pond video. And Dad.
Oh, I have.
Yes, you have to tell that
I have
story.
to tell this story. I have to. One of our and y'all go back to the video. You can watch it. You can read. You can see I'm not lying to you. A person left a comment and said that they were sitting there with their pop, and they may be on here tonight. I don't remember who it was, but they said they were sitting there with their pop watching my pond building video, and said that he said, "Stop, rewind that just a minute." He was up there and watched that, and he says, "I tell you what, now they're gonna have a nice hole of water there." He said, "But I got something to do here." He said he jumped up and took off out the back, and she said, Pop saw that traco taking up that fence, and he had a 10-acre fence in the back. He's fixing to go out and fire up old, what do you call it, buster or something like that, and a backhoe, and he's going to start taking up fence. And she said, I sent my grandkids out after him, my grandchild number so-and-so out after him, or whatever. And that's... it inspired him. Said he saw the glitter in his eyes. He could take that fence up now, and he figured out how to do it. So when he seen Lance take it up.
Chip Signal just gave us $200. That's awesome.
Oh,
For
wow,
20 million
Chip.
views.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Wow. Man, I'm touched by that.
Yeah. But guys, I get letters from handwritten letters from people all the time, and I read every one of them. I promise you, I do. And they touch my heart. I get older ladies sending me messages. He gets older men sending him handwritten letters because they say they don't want to do the computer. And then I get some that are in their 20s and 30s.
We get a lot more of them in our 20s and 30s than we used to.
Yes, lots and lots of emails and handwritten notes from 20 and 30-year-olds that are saying, please keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Yes.
We enjoy your videos. And that helps because there's days Danny and I would throw our hands up and quit.
We would quit. Especially
when people keep asking over and over and over about money and stuff. It doesn't matter. That should never matter. You shouldn't go on anybody's channel and ask what they
And we're
make.
not the only channel. They do that to several.
No, they do it to everybody.
We have lots of our YouTube friends that call us that have YouTube channels and say, man, are they asking y'all about your finances? I'm like, yes, they do. Don't worry about it. You know?
Yeah. And whatever you have is yours. People shouldn't come on your, like if you had your own Facebook page, they shouldn't come on your Facebook page and say, hey, I saw you just bought a new car, so how did you pay for it?
Thank you, Jason.
You know,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
I had something I was going to mention, and I just totally forgot what it was. I was listening to you.
I have that effect on you.
Yeah, I know it. I'm getting that sometimers disease now.
But we enjoy the young people. It's a blessing to us. If it was a different lifestyle now than we have, we would probably still continue to have people come to our place and we would still mentor people. But since everything's shut down, we've shut down. And so we have a few people like Naked Hog. He's been here before and he would have been our neighbor if something hadn't happened.
Right.
So we consider them kind of family. Right. We have people like Julianne. If Julianne was in town, Dirt Patch Heaven, we would tell her to come by. Yeah. Because she is our family. But we limit it to people that we consider family now. We don't just open up to everybody. At one point we did. If somebody let me know they were in town, I would say, come on by. And we've had lots and lots of visitors to Deep South. And I hate that we have to do that. Well,
because of COVID right now.
But we've had
to shut our gates. We don't even communicate with neighbors anymore. We've pretty much closed to everybody.
We just kind of stay here and run to town, do our stuff, and come back. And now we've even started ordering as much as possible. We do order most of everything now. And guys, I want to say this before we have to get off of here. I got one other thing. Remind me.
Oh, write it down, then, or we'll forget it. I have a video that I'm in the process of creating right now. Now, this is a serious moment here. This is not a joking moment. I'm being 100% serious. This video has taken me quite some time. Eyes to See Ministry had asked me to do a video many months ago, almost over a year ago, and I haven't been able to get to it because there's more to it. I couldn't do the video for her at the time to put out. She wanted to make a CD about it and put out. I couldn't do it because there was so much going on that I needed to put in this video. This video is not something I've been just recently thinking about. This is a video I've been working on for a long time. This video will go on Patreon. It will be a long video. I can't put it on YouTube because it could possibly get my channel pulled.
Plus, it would bring in lots of weirdos.
It would bring in tons of weirdos. And I'm basically going to be talking about COVID-19. I'm going to be talking about the New World Order. I'm going to be talking about Agenda 21. I'm going to be talking about Agenda 2030. I'm going to be talking about Nibiru. I'm going to be tying all this stuff together with Scripture and how it works with the Bible.
And mainly because this is something...
This is something God laid on my heart. Yeah. It's something He's wanted me to do for quite some time, but He's held me back. until now. I'm going to explain what he has laid on my heart as to how all this ties together and what the agendas is behind this. Now, do not ask me what my resources are, because I will not tell you. I have took an oath of silence from particular people that I would not mention who they are because of the fact they could lose their jobs or whatever. But I do have freedom to put the information out there. And you will, once this video is created, and if you're over on Patreon and you watch it, you will either love me or you will look at me like I'm the biggest nut you have ever seen. It will go one or the other way.
Yeah.
You will either stay or you will leave. I will be 100% honest. I'm not going to pull any punches in this one. I'm going to lay it out there. I'm going to tell it like it is. People has been asking me, Danny, if you know something, would you please tell us? Well, guys, this is going to be the video where I tell you what I know. So, I don't know when I'll have it up. I don't know if I'll get it this week or not. I'm hoping that I will.
I agree with Grizz 100%.
What does he say?
He said he read the back of the book and he knows how it ends.
Grizz, we're on the same page. Guys, I'm going to put this video up, the Lord willing. I want to do it this week, so I'm hoping that I can actually have time to put all this together because it's a lot to put together.
Yeah.
So,
and it's not meant to scare.
It's not a scare tactic.
It's
no.
simply putting some facts together.
Yes.
And it's putting some things that God laid on his heart years and years and years ago.
Yes.
And he talked about that to people for many, many years, and they thought he was crazy. And he's going to talk about that and bring it into today. And we can't do that. He's wanted to on YouTube for so long. And for those of y'all that are on Patreon, I'm sorry, but we can't.
Philippians
just throw
says
it
Philippians 2:10-11 says, we're only going to put it on Patreon. Yes, it's only going to Patreon. I'm not going to move it over to Deep South. I cannot run the risk of having our channel pulled because of this video.
And after it's up, we'll decide then, just exactly how to do everything.
Yeah, it's not a thing to get people to sign up for Patreon either.
No,
I'm not trying to tell you you need to sign up for Patreon. I'm just telling you, if you want to see this video, it's only going to be on Patreon. If you want to
swap it over to Deep
I
South.
can't swap it out because if I lose my channel, y'all never get to see us again. We never get to see y'all again.
Yeah. And so I have a couple of things. One, somebody asked, can you can fruits, I think, to make pies? I forgot how they worded it. But yes, blueberries, blackberries, anything like that if you want to do, you can either put them in water and can them, or you can put them in a light syrup, which would be sugar and water. You can use 1 part sugar to 4 parts of water, or if you want it sweeter, you can add an extra cup. I mean, any way you want to, but yes, all your berries can be water bath canned and made for using in pie fillings. And then the last thing, Sherry from Two Family has a birthday. Do you want to sing happy birthday to Sherry? She has, I don't know how old she's a little older than I am because she's my big sister. So she's older than I am, and I'm not very old. So that's one way to put it right. Yeah. She really isn't my big sister, but I call her my big sister.
We call her a big sister.
Yeah.
Yes, this video, you'll probably see a side of me that you've probably never seen. This is going to be a very startling. It's going to be a very moving video. A lot of the information come from intelligence. Let me say that. Will you make it public on Patreon? Probably not. Not at the beginning. I won't.
We'll consider
we will
that.
consider that down the road.
And see how
we're
how
going
people,
to see what kind of responses we get, and if it's overwhelming, then we'll.
And we might do it for like 24 hours or something.
Yeah.
That might be how we do it, and then shut it back down. Because if we do it permanently, we get a lot of crazies.
All the crazies come over there.
So if we decide to open it publicly, we will let you know. Here on Deep South, he'll do a video saying, hey, look, it's going to be from midnight to midnight or something.
Yeah,
so you know, and that would give everybody an opportunity to see it during that time. That might be how we have to do it.
But it won't be like that in the beginning.
No, we'll let you know, but pray that he can get it made.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult video to put together. That's the whole thing. That's why I'm telling you, I'm hoping I can do it this week. I've been working for weeks on information, actually for years on information, but I'm just trying to get it all put in chronological order. That's the biggest issue.
Danny has all this information in his head,
yes.
But then when he starts, he may backtrack, so he's wanting it laid out. So that's one of the things, because when he's talking to people, he can go different directions, you know, when it's one-on-one.
Yes, and this is real. Okay, what I'm going to be sharing is real, and I promise you, it's not meant to scare you to death. It will scare you. I'm going to tell you that. It's going to scare you, but it's not meant for that. Because remember, knowledge is power, and that is the best advice I can give anybody. Knowledge is power. It's not meant to be scary. Even though it may be scary, it's meant to be power. Somebody's asking, how do you sign up for Patreon? You just go over to...
it's called Patreon, and then you have to set up an account, I think. I don't know, because I already have an account, so I don't know exactly. But you go in and set up an account, and they charge you on the first day of the month. They charge when you sign up if it's not the first, and then they'll charge on the first of every month after that. Let's put it that way. And it's $3 a month.
Richard says, do I need a security clearance to see the video? Hey, you might.
Yeah. So we've got a lot in progress. We've done a lot this week. We're super excited about everything we've done. Danny and I have been like two kids all week.
We have, and guys, next week, let me say this. The reason it may be difficult for us to get this video up this week is that this coming week, we're going to be sharing with you guys more things that we've done behind the scenes here at Deep South Homestead. Y'all have seen us put up greenhouses. You've seen us build a cabin. You've seen us put up 2 ponds with Lance building them. Guys, that isn't all we've done.
We did a lot this week.
We've done a lot this week.
And had a lot of fun doing it.
And had a lot of fun doing it. But we're going to be sharing with you this week even more things that we've done here behind the scenes that we haven't talked about.
And it was a lot of fun. And I don't know. We've had a good time. It's almost like we're two kids again.
It is. I mean, we
found our youth.
And well, no. Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. This is the honest truth. Once you see the video on Patreon, at that point, you will understand why Wanda and I have done 2 greenhouses. You'll understand why we have 2 ponds. You'll understand why we have a cabin. You'll understand why we store food. You'll understand why all this stuff will finally come together for you, and you will see that it all makes sense and why we're the way we are.
Yeah.
The Patreon, Jan is right. The Patreon link should be in the description below the video, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We have just been every day getting up, going out to the pier after we tend to the animals, and sitting there. Just sitting. Because we don't know how long we'll be able to do this forever, you know. But for now, we can sit and watch. We can just sit there and enjoy. At night.
Yes, Tammy, it is.
When we finish everything we do, we go out there and sit. It may be 8 o'clock before we get out there, but we're going out there and we're going to sit out there and just chill and relax. And Then 2 or 3 times in the past couple of weeks, we went to the cabin. We're fixing to head to the cabin maybe tomorrow night. We didn't go tonight. We were wanting to.
Yeah.
But when we go to the cabin, we just sit on the porch for a while, and then we go in, we sit down and relax. It just gives us a downtime, because sometimes people on YouTube can be very negative, and you don't think it would wear on you because you're on the other side. You may see a comment, but it's not directed at you. We see them every day that are directed at us, and they can be very snarly, or they can just, I mean, they work on your nerves, and you can't forget them. Once you see that comment, it's still up here. You can't unsee it, you know, and it does take some doing, so we have to have some downtime.
Okay. Ashton?
Yes, Dixie.
No, Ashton says they want us to do some marriage, share some of the things. She's going up on 2 years of marriage. Want to show share some of our best marriage advice. Do a video on it.
We did that.
We have some videos in our playlist. Wanda and I did a series of videos about what it takes to make a successful marriage.
We called it what was it called? Patty and Tommy Alderman did 2, and we did 2 videos. It was a collaboration with them.
It was.
Send me an email and let me look it up. I cannot remember what it was called, but there's 4 videos in the playlist, and it is dealing with marriage. And you can type out in marriage and Deep South Homestead in the search engine, and it might bring it up. But there's actually 4 videos. Patty and Tommy did 2, and we did 2.
Yeah. And guys, cul-de-sac grocery garden is exactly right. The devil has fought me on this video for a long time. And I finally have most of the information down. I need your prayers, and I covet them so that I'll have the ability to put this video together in a way that will be probably the most informational video you've ever seen in your life.
We start at 8 o'clock Central Time. Somebody was asking.
Donald Bailey says your video, Could It Get Worse, was really interesting. And that video don't even touch the tip of the iceberg for what I'm going to be presenting in this other video.
Yes, Blue Raven. I do believe a lot of them know a lot more than you know.
Yeah.
That's why they're here. We're kind of preaching to the choir.
Well, we feel like God has given us some of the best people on YouTube.
Yeah, we always have.
We always have. We feel like that.
We watch other people's comments on live streams, and they get so many trolls, and the trolls are just nasty. And we're very blessed that our chat runs smoothly. We have good moderators, and thank you, moderators, because they handle anything really quickly if something does happen. But we have been doing this 4 years now, having a live stream. I think for 4 years.
4 years, I believe, yes.
And I can probably count on one hand the times that we've had extremely ugly comments. 99% of the time, we have had a wonderful crowd. And we feel like we welcome you into our home, and you guys are wonderful. I mean, we love our YouTube friends, I guess.
Somebody asked, will I be planting any fall potatoes? The answer is probably yes, but it will be in the greenhouse.
Okay. Renata wants to know, can we plant sweet potatoes now?
No.
We're fixing to be harvested.
It's time to harvest sweet potatoes. It takes 125 days to harvest them. This week, I will probably be digging some just to look at.
And cul-de-sacs, totally right. Pray about everything before you reveal some things to private. Yes.
Yes.
That is.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about that in the video.
That's one of the things he's going to talk about.
Yeah. Fried frog legs taste like chicken. Why is this? Well, saltine crackers, everything tastes like chicken.
No, it don't. I don't know why people say that. Stuff does not taste like chicken.
I know it. It's just funny. People always say that. Victoria says, I don't think I'll be surprised at all. You might. You just might. Because what I'm going to be speaking about, actually, God showed me this in the early 1980s.
But there could be, I guess what she's saying is some of them may have had that revelation.
God may have shown them already.
Yeah, that's
the
what
same
she's
thing
saying.
He showed me. I'm not the only person in the world He showed this to.
Yeah, there's lots and lots
Yeah.
of people. And the deal is, there's so many that don't know, that have never, they weren't raised in a place that was where they were coming in contact with this type of information.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know where to find it on YouTube, even though they could.
It's all out there. The information's out there. You just got to know how to get it.
You can Google anything you want to Google.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's all true.
Yes. We found that out. There's lots of stuff that we were Googling this week on. It was something minute.
We've had lots of people send us stuff, and I know how to check it out. And I went back and I told them, I said, this ain't real.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it was real, but it was back in many years ago. It had been pulled out of context.
It was used out of context, yeah. But anyway, guys, it's already 9:15. You know, we need to pray. I ask y'all to continue to pray for my father. My brother has got over COVID. My paralyzed brother, he's been in a home. He's recovered from COVID, we think. We're not sure he's back in the hospital again. But it's not for COVID. It was for another related issue. But,
okay, I wonder, do we notice a difference in taste between the greenhouse and outside?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
There was something, was it the beans? Something that was very distinct taste.
The Cherokee yellow wax beans were extremely different.
Yeah, the ones in the greenhouse were sweet.
The berries are a lot different.
Yeah.
The blueberries are different.
Yeah, I harvested a couple of blueberries this week.
Yeah, the peaches were really good.
The peaches were awesome. They were just amazing.
I'm with Music Well. I think the frog legs taste better than chicken.
I don't know.
I believe they do.
I'm gonna be like the possum. You said you would have to be hungry to eat a possum. I'm gonna have to be hungry to eat frog legs. I'm just gonna tell you.
What I do with swiptails is making roots in the cellar. We go ahead and can them or eat them. Just get it over with.
Yeah, I usually try to can. If mine just start sprouting, go ahead and peel them, salvage what you can, and put them in jars. Or if you want to put 2 or 3 in a pot and overwinter it in the house or something, but it's not beneficial to try to plant them at the wrong time of the year.
Well, the thing about it is, and I agree with Grizz, you know, like Drop's family said, I've read the end of the book. I know the end of the story. That's why I'm going to try my best to tie this in with Scripture. Because what's going on right now is prophetic.
Somebody's asking about Eric. I'm assuming Eric life in farmland.
Yeah.
He is going to have his transplant, his kidney transplant. He is on lockdown. He and Jenna both. And it's here. I want to say it's this next week. If not, it's the week after. I don't remember the date. I know it's middle of August is all I remembered. And so I can't remember the exact date. But right now they both are staying quarantined because he absolutely cannot get sick in any way, shape, or form, or they will not perform the surgery. So let's just pray for Eric that everything goes well soon.
The Music Well's having surgery this coming Friday morning. Not looking forward to it, he said. But
I'm getting sleepy.
You getting sleepy? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it is time for us to go ahead.
But guys, just keep us both in your prayers. Health issues. A lot of people have asked me how mine is doing. This year seems like things have changed a lot, and I feel so much better, and I don't seem to have the issues I had. Hot flashes, yes. Everything else, all the lymph nodes and stuff have went down, so I seem to be better. Danny is having some health issues.
A little bit more health
seem like
issues.
They're gradually getting worse,
yeah.
But there's not much they'll do for it, and with everything else shut down, we just live.
I'm just going to live from day to day. I know the end. I'm not worried about it. So
y'all just keep us in your prayers.
Let's go ahead and pray. Father, we're thankful that you've been so good to us. You've been been an awesome God. You've really taken care of us. You've given us the desires of our hearts. Lord, we pray every day when we get up that you would bless us so that we might be able to bless other people. And Lord, you've kept your word, and we appreciate that. And Father, I want to lift you up tonight and say that I saw one of our subscribers here said that they lost a very dear person in their life named Donna. And Lord, I pray that you'll help them to be able to find peace and comfort through the loss. They died of COVID, they said. And Father, I think about my dad is in the hospital. He supposedly has COVID. We don't really know. I'm asking that you give him healing for his body. And if not, if the healing means to take him home, then I pray that you do it in a peaceful and comfortable way, Lord. It would probably please him to be in your presence. And Father, we think about the Music Well said that he's going to have surgery this week, Lord, and I pray that you'll watch over the surgeons. Lord, you'll keep him strong and healthy and help them to recover quickly to be able to get back and, to the business that they need. And, we had one that said that their husband was in kidney failure. Lord, I pray that in the VA hospital, I pray that you'll help them to figure out what's going on there and be able to get that straightened out so that they can get back to their daily routine. And Lord, because we know you're the great physician. And I'm sure there were others that went past that I didn't get to see. Lord, I know there are people on here looking for homesteads. And I pray, Lord, I know right now people are grabbing up every piece of country property that they can find. And it's going through the roof. And it's getting harder and harder to be able to find something. But Lord, there are those of yours that are looking for a place. And Lord, I pray that you'll give it to them and do it quickly, Lord, because time is very short now. And Father, I pray that there are those that have already bought some homesteads. We think about Miss Lippy and Mr. Buddy. They got them a place in Kentucky. I pray that you help them to be able to sell their home quick and be able to get to their homestead, Lord, as quickly as possible now. And Father, I do pray for all of our subscribers here tonight, whatever their issues are, whether it's physical, spiritual, financial, emotional, Lord, whatever it is, I pray that tonight, Lord, for their diligence in sitting in here and being a part of our live chat tonight, and the fact that we love you. And Father, you said that the prayer of a righteous person availeth much, Lord. We want to pray for them. We want to lift them up. We want to ask that you meet their needs at this time and do it in a way, Lord, that they can only give you the glory for it. Father, we appreciate you so much. We ask for your leadership, your guidance through this week. Whatever our hands touch, may it prosper. May we have the blessings of obedience bestowed upon our life. May we have the fruits of the Spirit granted to us this week, Lord. May we have power over the enemy, power among men, Lord. And may we ever be the leading example in this world that we need to be for you, Father. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. All right.
And guys, we've got a few videos already. I've got a couple, 3 made. One on canning, like I told you with the old ball book. I have one, 2 different ones on the pond, 3. I think that I've got 2 made and 1 more going. What else we got going on this week? Oh, we're going to be doing sweet potatoes.
We'll be doing some sweet potatoes this week.
I think we'll be doing some type of sweet potato.
We have 2 or 3 videos coming up about things that we've added to the homestead we haven't told anybody about.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Albany Mountain saying something about 17 acres and 2-bedroom off-grid
For
home
sale in Arkansas, 135,000. Find me on Facebook if you're interested. Anyone looking for that, get a hold to Albany there, because that sounds like a great deal. I mean, for the price, it sounds like a really good deal.
Yeah, because most places are going way more than that, especially for any land.
Yes.
So I think that about covers it for now.
There's Eyes to See.
Hey, girl.
Eyes to See. I mentioned on the video, if you don't get to go back and watch it, I have a video coming up on Patreon. Of course, you're a subscriber. If you still are, I think you are. I'm going to be talking about Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, Nibiru. I got all this stuff. I'm going to be talking about COVID-19, all these things I'm going to be talking about. I'm tying it in with Scripture. Tori, you've asked me here a while back to do a video. This is going to be that video, sweetie. And I hope that you get a tremendous blessing from it.
All right, so I think we're...
Is that about it?
Thank you guys, Ashton and all of them that are saying that we are a blessing to them. You don't know how much y'all.
You don't know how much a blessing you are to us.
We don't know. We feel like we have millions of friends out there that we never get to sit down and chat with.
That's the part. I guess if there's anything about here that really bothers me, it's the fact that we have all these great people here, and I can't see them. I can't fellowship with them.
We talk, but you're not talking back to us, and that.
I mean, we see you in the chat, but it's not like being face to face, you know.
Yeah. And the ones that I do talk to on Facebook, or I talk to by Messenger or whatever, it's amazing sometimes because you get some type of semblance of what you think somebody is like, and then when you meet them, they're different.
Totally different.
Not their personality.
No, not their personality, but it's just what, you know.
And I've had a lot of good fellowship with a lot of good people here that are in this chat, and some that aren't in the chat that I've had a lot of fellowship with, and I just enjoy it. That's one of the reasons we started YouTube, was so that Wanda could have some friends.
Yeah. Wanda needs a real good, one of these friends. What's that? Purple LEM. Purple MB26 has. How do I start to look for land, Danny? Go to your local real estate sites on. We're going to jump off of here. Says we've been reconnected successfully. I guess that means it's okay.